Magandang araw po mga kaibigan. This is a unique interview that I will have. Audio ang mapapakinggan ninyo, walang video yung aking makakapanayam. I'm referring to a good friend, Rick Casco. Siya po ay nasa International Organization for Migration, but he worked with POEA, which is an agency under DOLE. And he's been serving the general public for 35 years. Isa po siya sa mga nabalitang nagkaroon ng COVID-19. So I'd like to find out kumusta na siya. And to my surprise, nasa ospital pa siya at this time. Rick, magandang araw sa iyo.
Magandang araw naman, Melo, at sa mga nakikinig sa iyong radio show.
Actually, we're very interested to find out how you are because when we saw posts that you're on your way to RITM, well, we began praying because meron mga symptoms. Paano mo nalaman na meron kang COVID-19 symptoms? Meron bang sintomas talaga in the first place?
Melo, actually, I didn't expect na ma-experience ko to, no? Kasi I've been a health buff, no? I've been very conscious of my health. I go to gym 3 times a week, and I even have my home gym. I eat well. I move a lot, no? Saka very wholesome naman yung mga activities ko. So, but then I don't know how I got it, no? If I reflect back, no, yung weeks before I experienced yung sore throat, no, na napaka-irritating, masakit, tapos sneezing, and then a little bit of colds, and then coughing. So I just thought na it would be just the ordinary cough colds, no? But then it went on for a week until the last 2 days before the hospital. I suffered severe dryness of my throat and my mouth, and I already had fever, no? So during that time, I asked help from my friends, and also I think my wife and family who's in America coordinated with them and called up the DOH, no, to send ambulance, no.
Mm-hmm.
And during that day, yung March 27, yung parang, I don't know if it is a rule, but the way things were done is the ambulance will only come to you when you have pre-arrangement with the hospital who will receive you, no? Kasi day na yon, parang masyadong heavy na yung load ng mga hospitals.
Yeah.
Parang maximum capacity na sila. So there were hospitals who were not making arrangement to receive any more patient, no? And I don't know, but when my wife and my friends called DOH ambulance, they arrived so quickly in the house, no? And then I already have my runaway bag ready, so I was told by the driver of the ambulance to jump immediately into the ambulance. No, it's a big truck, and I was alone, and they brought me to RITM. No, and I think I am among the luckier COVID participants because when I arrived sa RITM, yung queue sa there was no queue, no? Dun sa nagre-register at nagpapa-diagnose, no?
Mhm.
When I arrived, ako agad, no? So, and then they had me registered and tested me for yung nag-swabbing, no?
Uh-huh.
And they, they immediately gave me a bed sa emergency, parang temporary. And then that was like 2 p.m., no?
Mm.
And towards sunset, mga 5:30, I am already admitted and was brought to the ICU, no? And
Really?
I already tested positive. Yeah. Now, when they brought me to ICU, it's a scary experience, no? Kasi yung hospital is they have so many patients, and it's my first time to be such isolated na you're suffering this illness and wala kang family, nobody can visit you, hindi ka pwedeng bantayan. And yung ICU room ko pa is like, I feel like this is where yung mga pinaka worst
Malala.
na
Oo,
infectious
pinakamalalang kaso.
diseases are being sent, no?
Uh-huh.
So, but then, of course, throughout kasi mag-1 month na ako dito, no? I just like to share na I really bow to the heroic pursuit ng ating health frontliners
Mhm.
sa vocation nila.
Yeah.
I think, it is not easy on their part, no, na bawat pasok nila sa room, my room had like 2 doors, no? Before
Uh-huh.
they would even enter my door, they would change their gear, no?
Yeah.
And every exit, they will take away their gear and put it in a laundry area when ano na naman yun, they disinfect, no? So they are not allowed to walk through the corridors
Uh-huh.
from a room of a COVID
Really?
patient, no? With the gear they wore inside the ICU, no? So
Uh-huh.
it's like doble-doble, parang triple pa nga, no? And there was a time na because they extract blood from me, they monitor me every day kung my lungs is working better. No, because after 4 days ko na nasa hospital, after those most critical days, I was already declared parang COVID-free pagtapos nung second
Test.
swabbing, no?
Uh-huh.
Parang confirmation test. And then after 2 days, I'm again negative, no? But while that was the case, they had to check that my lungs can work on its own, no, before they release me. And that
So
was
you
a
were
slow
intubated.
process.
You were intubated.
I was not intubated, but I was maybe a different kind of incubation because you're in a sealed room, like hindi dalawa-dalawang door, no?
Uh-huh.
The very may pattern yung pagpasok ng mga health workers, no?
Okay.
I think it's also because they have many patients, and they're also challenged by the fact na marami din sa kanila nag-test positive,
Yun na nga
so
eh.
they couldn't work. And so the nurses, hindi, kahit nasa ICU ka, hindi ka makaka-push button or makaka-bell. They only come like on an interval of every 4 hours. But that's why for the time that they are here, kailangan i-maximize mo yung presence nila kung anong kailangan mo, kung gusto mong mag-urinate o magpalit ng beddings or magpa-charge ng cellphone mo, everything. No? Kasi otherwise, it's not easy. You know? There are times that I do my own, excretions on my own, no? And while they're sleeping, on the bedpan and wipe yourself. No? But I think they do calculate yung capacity mo naman while in the ICU na siguro hindi naman ako yung extreme case. So I just tend to understand that, no? I couldn't expect the way I expect from other hospitals, no? And I'm lucky enough that in RITM, what they told me also is that, kasi one of my first questions is, how are you treating me? Like, what are you injecting me? Or like, what medicines are you letting me take, no? And in my impression, the first thing that the doctor said, no, well, you must understand that this is a new disease. Everything will be experimental, no?
Wow.
No, parang they will, of course, they have prior research and investigation of what could work.
Yes.
No, and what I understand, they put or injected into my intravenous yung mga dextrose and all that thing, parang tatlong klase ng antibiotics, no? Apart from that, they injected to me anti-inflammatory medicine, siguro para walang mamagang internal organs. And then there's antihistamine, and then there's parang mucolytic, and there is something inject me. Like inject to me na kasi mas mabilis pagka intravenous, no? So they injected also yung blood thinner kasi sa tagal ko na nandito na lumalapot yung dugo mo, nagka-clot agad, no? Na mahirap ka ng kunan ng dugo, yung mahirap hanapin yung nerves mo,
nag-collapse,
no? So, and I have extraction of like 6 times a day, no? 2 or 3 times of yung they check your sugar level, and then the 3 others is about your oxygen in your blood, no? Tapos all the other essentials in yung blood integrity mo, yung health na blood mo. So then they also serve, I think they serve good food, but I lost my appetite, no?
Really?
So I try my best to eat, but I ate very little. So ngayon talaga, butot balat talaga ako, no? Talagang I couldn't even imagine if I could walk with balance, you know? Kasi payat-payat ko talaga. So the other thing is I have some the distant relatives who ventured to send me food, no? Through all the means, despite the lockdown, kasi they live near Alabang, so sila yung pinakamalapit. And those were the food that more or less parang yung mga craving ko na nakapag-restore ng appetite ko. For example, I requested pandesal na may cheese. no? Yung coffee kong candy para may lasang coffee, no? Marshmallow para merong matamis,
Okay.
uh, pansit, kung ano-ano, tuyo para may maalat akong malasahan. No? So that was helpful yung
Okay.
mga efficiency ng mga food delivery ngayon. Yung mga
You know, I was surprised to see your posts na gusto mo ng ganitong pagkain. I can imagine your craving. Pero how
yes.
did you deal with it?
Well, I don't know kasi there were times na I don't know kung nag-hallucinate ako. No? After a meal, I'm not satisfied but I wanna eat. No? So I tried to imagine habang natutulog ako na I'm eating my favorite food and dahil sa dryness ng throat ko, which I also suffered a lot with, dahil din sa oxygen ko, was quite strong that dried my throat and
Uh-huh.
my mouth and my lips. No? It
Uh-huh.
was very painful to swallow. No? So pag natutulog ako, yung mga aspiration ko sa food, para siyang na-imagine ko, parang may physical effect sa akin na sometimes I wake up in the evening, parang may ninunguya ako na tapos wala naman pala. No?
Uh-huh.
Parang ganun.
So it's a way of
Uh,
coping, no? It's a way of coping, Rick.
Maybe yes, but it's not intentionally. Parang involuntarily happens, no? Just so spontaneous, no? But when I tried to list what I would miss eating, I think that started to motivate me. And kinapalan ko na yung mukha ko na mag-request dun sa uh, kapatid ng asawa ng cousin ko, no, na consistent naman siyang nagpapadala. So it rebuilt my appetite, although hindi pa siya totally
Okay.
ano.
Pero,
And then also, Melo, I also like to be thankful na sa RITM. No? My doctors always talk to my wife in the States and my daughter. No? And my daughter and my wife, they're very helpful, very articulate, very smart.
uh-huh.
They link up with everybody. Mas na-update pa sila kaysa sa akin. No? And every time we talk each day, um, I get an update of myself. No? Kasi yung doctor, hindi rin naman sila, while they try to come each day, iba-ibang time. No? Minsan natutulog ka, so hindi mo sila makatch. So I think it is a good way that while nakalock in kami, isolated, no bantay, no bisita, walang push button, no talagang yung mobile phone is my only survival to the outer world, no. And I think technology had sort of managed that difficulty. No?
Yeah.
So also my office doctor, they are in touch with my family. Nagkakaroon ng magandang relay. No?
Yeah.
So,
Maganda
ayun.
yung experience mo. Maganda yung experience mo. Pero, Rick, let
Yeah.
me ask you, what was your initial reaction? You mentioned na a health buff like you couldn't imagine. Paano yung, did you ask God, whatever happened to me? Did God neglected me?
Huh?
Dumating ba yung ganung
Yeah,
pagkakataon?
syempre, in the spiritual part, no, nung nasa bahay pa lang ako, I was already scared. No? Of course, I pray. No? I'm a Catholic. And, um, I pray. I even put the crucifix on my dining table, no, to just tell him that he's the center of everything, no. I photograph my my icons, mga santo ko, mga angels, no.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I just thought that nung pipikapin na ako ng ambulance, I just thought that God, I don't want to die. I still like to live, no, because I love life, and you can see you're my FB friend, no. I'm very I like life, no.
Of course.
I like to garden. I like to entertain. I like to mingle with people. I like nice things. I like art, and I have goals to reunite with my wife, no, and my family, and I don't like to die. And then I I am I'm not sure of that time, and what while I said that to him and to myself, I also surrendered to him that his his decision will be his will. No, I will submit to his will,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just spontaneously jump into the ambulance. Kung saan man ako padpad, oo lang ako ng oo, but I just felt that he was already with me, for not letting me line up, for everything becoming efficient. It seems like I was the last patient they could accommodate at that date, no? And then I said that maybe I missed something, no? And that drew me to reflection nung nandito na ako sa hospital, tumatagal na, nabobore na ako. No, that if I think back, there are things that even if I was a health buff and all these things, marami rin akong na-miss, no?
Mm-hmm.
Una sa lahat, yung siguro I was less careful, no, about wearing masks, no. I was more trusting, no. The other thing is like um, I have been I have sleepless nights. I have stresses in the office, and so my lack of sleep baka nakakabawas sa immunity
Resistance.
resistance mo sa immunity.
Yeah.
Tapos I've been very physical, so I do spend a lot in my garden, no?
Yeah.
Baka nasobrahan, no? And then I also went to the mall, although nung naman ako nagpunta sa mall was to really buy essentials, no, like my vitamins. Tsaka nagtataka nga ako, sabi ko, ako super kompleto ko sa vitamins. Vitamin C, selenium, D3, zinc, no, hiwa-hiwalay pa yan. No, fish oil, vitamin E, vitamin B.
I can
Tapos
imagine.
yeah.
A big portion of your salary goes to Mercury Drug or Watson's, no?
Yeah, or sa healthy options.
Healthy options.
Kanyang padala sa akin sa Amerika. So, parang marirealize mo, no matter what you do, there's never any perfection. Or if there is something that happens to you, it happens for a purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe you will not understand why it happens, but I think it happened for God to tell me that kung nagdadalawang isip ka pa magbagong buhay because you're just so high profile, you just do everything here and there. And then family life is also a sacrifice. Me being a man left behind by a clan of migrants, hindi lang family. No? Almost everybody is in America. Maybe about 40, 50 people of my immediate relatives and immediate family are in America. So it is like the irony of me, the man who's been promoting reintegration of OFWs. No, I didn't want to leave my work because I've been advocating that they should return back home. And I just thought, I told my wife that what would that make of me if I leave? But then now I'm a man left behind, and family is abroad. And this is the price to pay, no? For sometimes your vocation, sometimes really being a public servant. It's parang mag-suffer talaga yung family mo pagka-public servant ka. Sometimes, hindi nila intindihan na nagsasuffer family mo kasi pag public servant ka, vocation yun eh.
You got your dedication sa
Kaya,
trabaho.
hindi lang sa job, Melo, no? Vocation yun.
Yeah.
But then maybe God said, this time, family.
Mm-hmm.
So I read that, no? And he makes me realize that while I think I'm a Superman, I am not. That while I think I can live alone and manage a good life alone, it will never be.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's no assurance. So I'm thankful I survived. My birthday was spent here. God gave me life as a birthday gift.
Mm-hmm. Belated happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm happy enough for that. And kaya nung inisip mong magkaroon ng conversation sa akin, excited ako kasi gusto ko talaga ma-share yung kabuuan ng experience ko. No?
Yeah.
Siguro on a more larger perspective.
Yeah.
Sana ang mundo ma-realize na it is not wealth or might that gives you power, but health and life. Nothing is even gonna be achieved without it. No? At saka, ang mundo is just become so greedy. There's just so many evils, so many temptations, so many lies, so many corruption, so many wars of all sorts, trade wars, political wars, psychological warfare, just so many things, so much materialism. Siguro kaya pandemic ito is the bigger message. No? When will we stop? No?
Mm-hmm.
So I think of all these things, no, but I'm an ordinary person. No, sometimes I would imagine I wish the leaders think much even better than the way I try to, and also have power and influence.
Yeah.
To realize na hindi lang to health issue. No? It's also a test of our morality, our spirituality, and now you see more people sending religious, biblical messages, prayers to everyone. And so this is the way it is, Melo.
Mm-hmm. Looking back at your experience and the lessons learned, how do you plan to chart your coming days? Anong balak mong gawin? Will you opt to stay with your family? Would you call them back home? Ano ba? If it's
Yeah.
not classified or personal, no?
Lahat naman open options, no? I think first of all, I have to get back to shape, no?
Yeah.
Um, because I like to continue to do the what I think I do well and good, no? And in a way, in my circle of friends and family, you know, I have an influence in many ways, no? Either as a friend, a mentor, or inspiration. I like to keep that, no? Um, in terms of family, um, the to me kasi the ultimate family is husband and wife, no? Kasi eventually my daughter who's married will have her own life. No, my sister is married, have their own life. My parents, they have a life in America. So, ang ultimate ko is to work on reuniting with my wife. No?
Mhm.
Whether it's abroad or at home, it doesn't matter. No? Of
Mhm.
course, kung ako personally tatanungin, gusto ko sana sa Pilipinas, sa bahay ko. I have the very strong sense of home
Yes.
since I was a kid. No? I'm really a homebody. So ironically, a homebody na ngayon dapat naka-lock in uh, COVID patient pa, di ba? Minsan that's the irony of life, no? We
Yeah.
cannot always have a path like expected pattern or structure, no?
Yeah.
So that's what I plan, and of course, uh, I want to do other things, no, na mas mamamanage ko yung time and a more enjoyable diversity of role, like maybe teach
Yes.
or
Will you be writing a book? Will you be
do
writing a
some
book about migration?
consultancy, yeah, maybe in collaboration with others. No,
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it alone.
Yeah.
And of course, be in touch. I don't think totally shutting myself of migration work
Yeah. Mhm.
will
Rick,
be an option. No?
Rick, let me ask you, coming from IOM, you're part of IOM. How do you
Yes,
Filipino workers going home, seafarers going home? No, I've been updated by DFA of so many people returning to the work. Definitely, it will have impact on their livelihood. But what positive gains can we achieve with such a situation going on because of COVID-19?
well, it's very hard to say, on my personal opinion, not necessarily on IOM official opinion. Of
Yeah.
course, IOM, whenever requested by member state or government, come to help, no? Or
Uh,
whenever we have resources, venture to propose to help, no?
like in
Um,
repatriation
and our
of people.
programs, with crisis or no crisis, IOM had been doing work on socioeconomic reintegration,
Yeah.
humanitarian response. No? Those are really very basic things we do. No? And then migrant orientation, also families, no? Family assistance. But with this, it only goes to show na because for many years, IOM had been also promoting more attention to migration and health the relationship of migration and health. No, because migration being a cross-cutting subject matter has so many thematic nexus with health, with gender, with human rights, with climate change, with development, so many, many things, no? And I just personally feel that health has been set aside or needs more attention, no?
Uh-huh.
This pandemic is siguro the best example why that relationship of managing migration with a health um, with a health perspective or with a health lens is very necessary. Now it's a pandemic. No, prior to this, when we were doing a migration crisis management tool, no, which we did in IOM, we were listing among the crisis epidemic, no, the scare of new diseases, no. But for all that happened with SARS, MERS-CoV, and SGS syndrome, and some other new diseases in the past, no, it never happened this way, no, na talagang the whole world, and only 2 countries or 3 countries or a region will have to act on it, but the whole world and the whole economy, everything stops, no. So I think even migrants themselves have to have a deeper understanding of the precautions and the remedies they will have to make whenever their health and safety is confronted.
Okay. Yeah. Rick, siguro one last question para makapagpahinga ka na rin. Anong mensahe mo sa ating mga tagapakinig, sa mga nanonood, at sa maaabot ng ating panayam na ito? What would you want to convey? Anong nais mong bigyang halaga? Probably can touch on some lessons learned with your experience.
Siguro, una sa lahat is, this is really the time for reflection, no? And then we should be honest to ourselves, no, to admit our shortcomings, no. And sa akin siguro mahalaga na no matter what your fear is all about and whatever your condition is, na you just surrender to the Lord, no? Because after all, He knows best, no? He knows when you have to join Him, when you have an unfinished business, and then when you have the will, no? I think that is the best thing, no? The spiritual side of this challenge, no? Kasi I think people have become less spiritual. So yun.
Okay. Rick, thank you very much. Pero anong sabi ng doktor? Kailan ka lalabas mula sa RITM?
I am no longer in ICU, no? Starting today, no? I am siguro in a few days, no? They are just making sure that my lungs can function on its own without oxygen, no? And they have already reduced my oxygen support to the minimum. No, siguro at the end of the day, they will take it out, observe me. Of course, my next challenge is, di ko alam kung makakapaglakad ba ako ng may balance sa bahay o makapagluluto ng kakainin ko para tumaba uli o manunurse ko yung sarili ko sa mga gamot na iinumin ko. That's the next challenge I have to face. But I have to be brave. Buo naman yung isip ko. I have the will. So, ganon. We'll see.
Would you like to thank particular persons and groups?
Siguro lahat ng RITM, doctors, nurses, yung staff, no? I like to thank them. And I like to acknowledge that in my experience, DOH and RITM, they've been efficient, no? To the best they can. No? Regardless of yung mga nako-comment on delays of the testing results, etc. No? And also, I like to thank those, all my FB friends na nagdagsang mga prayers, no? And mga cheers para hindi ako masyadong malungkot. At saka, of course, my family. My daughter is so straightforward, very strong, very encouraging. My wife always smiles when we chat. No, yeah, she gives me not a worried face. No, and of course, sa lahat ng nagpapadala ng pagkain, no, malaking bagay yun sa akin. At saka sa inyong lahat, no, ikaw, salamat din sa pagkakataong magkaroon ako ng platform to share my experience in this crisis.
Rick, thank you very much. Let me end our interview with a short quote from Viktor Frankl. He said, "Forces beyond our control can take away everything you possess except one thing, your freedom to choose how you will respond to this situation." And you responded well. Thank you very much, Rick. God bless you. And we will have lunch or dinner one of these days as soon as you get out. Please take care. We're praying for you. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you also. Yeah.
Salamat po.